Let's dive into it. At the top of the agenda, there'd be so many things that Magpie fans are loving right now, and right near the top of that list would be the Daicos brothers thriving in black and white. And you will have learnt this afternoon that such a sight is going to continue until at least the end of 2029.
We know you've been waiting a while, Magpie Army, but Nick and I are here to announce our contract extensions. So we're pumped for the journey ahead, obviously loving our time at the club. And yeah, can't wait for another 6 years wearing the black and white stripes.
Nah, super excited. I'll reiterate what Josh said, touched on it pretty well, but so excited. Really excited with where the team's heading. We've got a great culture here. I love coming in every day and getting to work. So a bit of a no-brainer decision, I think, for both of us. And yeah, we thought we'd present it to you on the live so you could ask any questions, so feel free to ask away. Who did you look up to growing up? Josh and Dad were two people that I think inspired me a lot with my footy and helped me so much. I looked up to them. And then in the AFL, I think Steele Sidebottom and Pendles, who I'm lucky enough to call teammates now. I love watching them growing up, just how skillful they were.
Ambitions for the next few years, I think just to keep getting better as a group, obviously. The last 18 months, we've continued to get better, and as a team now sit on top of the ladder. But yeah, we've come a long way from when Fly first took over, and yeah, we've just always tried to get better as a team and look for ways to expand our game and be dangerous. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to where we can get to in the next few years.
Favourite goal of your dad's? It's been shown a bit, but I love the one against West Coast where he kicks it on the boundary line and the crowd goes nuts. That's one of my favourites. Best thing about playing with your brother, I think we've both seen how much hard work we've put in behind the scenes. So I think when we get to share it on the weekend and sort of smile to each other out there or pass each other the ball or celebrate one of our teammates kicking the goal together, it's pretty special. I think we ride the highs and the lows together, and hopefully that will continue for another 6 years now.
In a very modern way, this contract extension was announced for a fan forum of Magpie lovers, but it's easy to be swept up in this as any sort of observer of footy.
One of the great stories of footy this year, and it was emergent last year, but one of the great stories this year is the Daicos. Forget Collingwood, just the Daicos boys and Dad has been one of the feel-good stories of this footy season. And it's great they're going to be at Collingwood forever, and hopefully they play for another 12 or 15 years. They have brought a purity to the game, Gerard, with their ability to kick the ball. Now, you may say, well, that's nothing. You call enough games of football, we go to enough games of football, we watch football. To see these two execute by foot is so pure. And you look at them, remember that left foot that Josh kicked a couple of weeks ago? I went, have a look at this. Yeah. There's like 4 players in the comp could do that. I just think they're just fabulous footballers, and they've been great ambassadors for Collingwood and the competition.
Will they both be All-Australians in a month?
Yes, they will be.
Yeah.
I think Josh, yeah. Well, Nick certainly will. Oh, no, I think Josh certainly will. I think Josh is on one wing and I think Errol Goulden's on the other in the midfield, and I think it's time the All-Australian selectors absolutely recognise the wingmen this year. They haven't done it for a long, long time, but I think they've done enough.
So the commitment to Collingwood was never in question. It was the mechanics of a deal that the club brought forward and wanted to do. So there'll be the progression, it seems, to Nick as a $1 million player a couple of years down the track, probably from 2026 rather than 2024. I
don't know the numbers.
No,
I don't. Peter Daicos spoke the other day, said it's not $1 million. But if someone told me in 4 years' time he's getting $1 million, I'd say he deserves every cent of it.
Yeah. So Nick was pick 4, father-son. Josh was pick 57, father-son. So there's an element of that I love as well, is for a fellow so far down the pecking order to have this long-term contract and all that he's been able to do. And the long-term nature of it, so we've sort of progressively worked our way through. Yep. So end of 2029 was Christian Petrarca, and now both Daicos boys, and then beyond that was Clayton Oliver and Harry Mackay, the end of 2030, and Nick Blakey, the end of 2031. So I think Nick Blakey's still the out marker.
Still the out marker. I think Josh is a better player with Nick in the team. You know, coaches talk about connection and everyone talks about connection. We've got to connect. There is no better connection in football than playing with your brother.
Yeah.
None. Because you just look. You just see in the eyes. That's just what happens. And they say, geez, that was quick, but that's what they just think. They just feel and think, and it's great.
It's a lovely story.
It is. It's fantastic. We're so lucky, all of us.